Okay, folks, welcome to the Facebook Focus Stock Analysis. Before we get into the charts of Facebook, I always like to take a look at the indexes that each individual stock is a member of. And the chart that you're looking at right now is a weekly chart of the Dow Jones Composite Internet Index. And I take a look at the weekly charts because I like to get that 30,000-foot view of how the health of the individual sector is, because as goes the sector, the probability of the underlying component goes with it. So on a weekly basis, the Dow Jones Composite Internet Index has had one heck of a mighty run. For the better part of the past 4.5 years, the stock has been in a huge bull run. However, there is a little bit of sign of cracking. Take note of the fact that we're not all that far away from the upper band of the rising uptrend channel. That really doesn't concern me all that much. It's just something that we should take note of. However, when you take a look at the indicators, ultimate oscillator, it's putting in lower highs. Your Stochastic RSI is in a pennant formation. However, note this choppy action. What I always tell my members is to always be careful of stocks, ETFs, indexes, whatever you're looking at, that are showing signs of choppy action. The probability of a breakdown is very high. So I'm concerned about this index on a longer term basis. The slow stochastics remain in a very strong uptrend, however, very extended and very overbought, as is the MACD. And take note of the MACD histogram being in a downtrend. That's a sign that buying pressure of the underlying components is beginning to diminish. We know where we're at on a weekly basis, a macro basis. Now let's take a look at the daily chart to see what's going on here. Now, unlike the weekly chart, we're not at the upper band of the rising uptrend channel. We are closer to the lower band. We are on the RSI breaking out of a pennant formation. Note Friday's action. The price action on Friday is a doji formation. In candlestick terms, that means it's a sign of indecision between bulls and bears. So the stock could go either way. My guess is with the breakout here on RSI, we head higher on the index. Ultimate oscillator. We are finding resistance here at this declining downtrend line. We have yet to break down below the prior low, so it's too early to call a breakdown on the ultimate oscillator. However, take note of this. This ultimate oscillator ideally would be breaking out with the RSI. It is not. Stochastic RSI looking good. Slow stochastic is at a breakout point. It has yet to break out, but is at a breakout point. Could quite possibly well do so this coming week. MACD struggling a bit extended, making lower highs, putting in higher lows, consolidation, you could say. Now let's take a look at a 30-minute chart. That's what you're looking at right now. Here was Friday's price action. Remember that we gapped up. This is December the 6th. We gapped up, peaked at 252.73 on this index, pulled back, and then rallied. The one concern is we put in a lower high intraday. No reason to go out and sell your stock just yet. It's a 30-minute chart, very volatile. We pulled back the final half hour of trade. We bid off the lows of that 30-minute period to close positive. We might just very well see a rally on Monday, Tuesday, but just keep in mind that we did make a lower high intraday. Now, having taken a look at the chart of the Dow Jones Composite Internet Index, let's take a look at Facebook. We'll use the same methodology as we did with the Dow Jones Internet Composite Index. And here you have a weekly chart. Not as much data with Facebook as you have with the index, obviously for the fact that it only went public a couple of years ago. And you can see it's a strong chart. We rallied, nice consolidation. We bought in back here, enjoyed this rally up, and we were made over 100% on this trade, got out. We didn't get out near the top. We missed this bar, and it's since subsequently pulled back. I'm actually looking to get long of Facebook once again. And what I like about this chart the most is that we flagged out. For those folks who aren't familiar with technical analysis, Basically what we're doing is we're putting in a flag formation, good bottoming tails on your candlesticks, showing support. And last week we broke out. A little bit of a topping tail. However, you have some buyers that bought back here. Now they're looking to get made whole. So it's understandable that they're trying to sell once they get made whole. That's expected. That's overhead supply. Our RSI is looking good. It's trending up. Slow stochastics have yet to begin to trend up. However, you're seeing some stabilization at the 50 level that implies that they may hook back up once again. Volume is below average on Facebook. Although we had 2 weeks of sequential up volume, you would like to see these volume bars higher, especially on a week when the stock is breaking out. That confirms the move higher. What does volume tell you? Volume tells you that the reason why this stock broke out of this consolidation phase is because you had institutional buying. Now, we didn't have overwhelming institutional buying last week. How do I know that? The volume bars aren't telling us that. MACD it's in a downtrend. We made a lower low on the histogram last week. Ideally, you'd want to see these bars leveling off and then begin to decline, meaning selling pressure is alleviating. Let's take a look at the daily chart. Okay, daily chart is showing us that on RSI we have a breakout. However, what concerns me the most, and I'll talk a lot about the indicators, but most important to me is price and volume. And you can see that on Friday, we gapped higher in the morning and we were repelled at the 50-day moving average, which is now flattening out. It closed near the lows of the day, a fairly long candlestick. We saw a bearish engulfing of the prior day's move, which is not a good sign. So what we need to do here is that we need to hold 47.55. That's fairly significant support. If we close down below 47.55, expect us to pull back and retest the prior upper band of this consolidation phase, this pennant formation, which should now act as support. Look for bottoming tails there. It's critical that we hold the support level. Because if we break back down below into this pennant formation, that would be a breakout point failure and not a very good sign for Facebook. And we could quite very well retest 43.55 and possibly take out this support level. Now, the upside to this is that volume is very, very low, as noted by the candlesticks. We do not have institutional selling. The under indicators, I see really no reason to be bullish or bearish. More so bullish if I had to be, due to the fact that they are trending up. But the price action does concern me on a daily chart. Let's take a look at the 30-minute chart now. Okay, 30-minute chart. What you see setting up here is a potential, and I only say a potential head and shoulders setup. All too many times this formation occurs and people start shorting a stock when it shouldn't be shorted. It hasn't confirmed yet. They need to wait for the confirmation. So I would strongly urge you to not simply, by virtue of the fact that it's forming a head and shoulders formation, to go short the stock. You need to wait for a breakdown below the neckline. So here you have it. You have your left shoulder, your head, your right shoulder. So on an intraday chart, the stock is not looking good. I don't like this type of price action. We gapped up from Thursday's close. You had sellers up here, and they sold the stock off pretty hard intraday on Friday. We did hold 47.75, very, very critical support level. We did see some volume at the close. The final hour of close saw some selling pressure. However, on the daily chart, it still was very negligible. Let's take a look at the short interest on Facebook. And this is what I do with all the stocks that I analyze with my members. I always like to say, what is our catalyst? What's the catalyst to propel this stock higher? And with respect to short interest, there is very little short interest on Facebook. As a percentage of the float, only 1.9% of the shares are short. Total shares short, 31.9 million shares. When you compare this short interest versus the average daily volume, that's about 1/2 a day's worth of volume. So this is not a stock that is heavily shorted, which is not good for folks that are buying the stock, hoping that the shorts will get squeezed, hoping that the stock goes higher. However, if you're looking to short the stock, and we do break down below that neckline, well, the good news is that you won't have a bunch of shorts that will get squeezed very easily and shake you out of your position. On a fundamental basis, you have good quarterly revenue growth, about 60%. Earnings growth, it's not there yet. We don't have any yet. And dividend, no dividend. So the catalyst, the story is future growth. There's no short squeeze opportunity for longs. If you're looking to short, well, then you don't have to worry about getting squeezed out of your position by too many shorts. What's my prognosis for Facebook? I like Facebook longer term. I'm going to pull back to the daily chart right now. What I need to see is this. I either need to see a consolidation at the 47.55 level or a pullback to this support level here in blue, a consolidation and then a rally higher. I might begin to nibble on a consolidation above this. I can't explain how critical it is that we hold the support level or the prior resistance level. And if we do hold within this range and consolidate, I would consider nibbling on Facebook, but I would not add to Facebook unless we got a breakout above this 50-day moving average. And ideally, the 50-day moving average flattens out as it is right now and stays flat and it does not decline. Because what will happen is as the 50-day moving average begins to decline, it will act as a declining ceiling on the stock price. You don't want that. You do not want to fight that. So ideally, the stock closes above its 50-day moving average. Then you have your technicians begin to become a little bit more bullish on the stock. And I would begin to accumulate the shares on a breakout above 54.83 on rising up volume. However, it's a show-me stock right now. I do not like Friday's price action. We're going to sit on the sidelines. I will be sending out an alert to my members when we decide to begin, once again, accumulating position in Facebook. And that's it, folks. If you like these videos, please sign up for our 14-day free trial offer. These are free to my members, so you do not need to pay. Every once in a while, I will send out these videos free to my opt-in email subscribers. And if you opt in today using the email opt-in on my homepage, you'll receive 3 free video lessons to show you what type of trader I am using a contrarian style of investing that I developed. And I hate spam. You will not be spammed. I guarantee you that. And enjoy the remainder of your day, folks. And if you have any questions, shoot me an email, robert@thecontrariantrader.com. Take care.